Welcome to episode 6 of the Real Talk lineup. I'm your host, Jojo.
I'm RonniCole.
And today in studio, we have a very special guest, Cleveland radio legend Don Action Jackson.
The man.
Wow. Legend.
The man.
You say that after you die? Or something?
Well,
Okay.
how old are you?
Wow.
Well, that does play an important
Is this kind of show?
It's that kind of show.
Okay. I'm 60, actually, so I'm closer to death than both of you. But aside from that, legend is okay.
Okay.
You're a legend. You're a legend in our eyes.
Thank you very much. And you got glasses on. That's not helpful. Both of you got glasses on.
Oh, my God. All right. This is going to be fun.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so today we're talking about the shot heard round the world.
I love that.
It's true.
RonniColes question of the day. And clowns running underground prostitution rings. It's all this and much, much more up next on the Real Talk lineup.
They have to be following him every moment of the day.
J-Lo getting divorced?
He still contributed to society.
I think maybe marijuana.
That is not obvious. How did that happen?
I would be too afraid, but sometimes I'm like, man, I need a little boost. Donald Trump's campaign says he's fine after being rushed off the stage at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, following apparent gunshots. Trump posted on Truth Social that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear, describing how he heard the whizzing sound and immediately felt the bullet ripped through his skin, causing much bleeding. The crowd cheered as he got back up and pumped his fist.
He was not rushed anywhere. If he had time to pump a fist, why do they say those?
Would have killed Biden. Would have killed him. Believe me.
Why?
But it's not going to kill me.
Oh my!
They rushed him off the stage in 90 seconds. It's not terrible, but it felt like an hour.
It did.
It felt like an hour to get him out of there.
Yeah. This incident, what is this called?
Assassination attempt?
Attempted assassination is going to get him elected. He's going to be elected now.
Well, there's a theory, and it's wrong, but it's a conspiracy theory. I guess Tim Robbins has a movie about a character who's running for president who fakes an assassination attempt to get up in the polls. And so everybody seized on this on social media saying, oh, maybe he heard about this.
Really?
And I don't think it's true, but Trump sets himself up for stuff like that all the time because people think, half the stuff he says comes out of his mouth is lies, or more than half. But
I agree.
I feel like I'm surprised this hasn't happened earlier.
Previously.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was the first thing that she and I said about that when we first heard about it. It was like,
that is bonkers.
What took so long? I mean, not that I want anybody to die.
Right.
But,
right.
Well, they said there was a cop that had maybe run into the shooter. He went up, on the roof and confronted him, and then he fell off of the ledge to protect himself and whatnot. And then I'm going, is this cop? There was two of them apparently that went up there, and I'm like, this cop thinking, wasn't it a year ago that Trump said defund the police?
Yeah, there you go.
So
exactly.
Because everybody's saying now there is no way that rooftop should have not had a cop up there or something.
Precisely.
And
because
it was way too close.
The building was not that tall. Like, it was just a regular, it wasn't like it was, he was shooting out of a window. So someone should have been up there.
So my question is, though, so if the Secret Service killed him after he shot at Trump, how did they see him to kill him, but they didn't see him when he was up there?
To stop him.
Yeah.
But they were on basically the same time watch that it took him to get Trump off the stage. It looked like they were saying that they may have seen some reaction from these guys before they reacted. Why did it take so long to shoot this guy?
They paid him to be up there. He had to stay up there for a little while. They had to make it seem real.
And I think sometimes
they had to make it seem real.
So you don't think it's this? You think this was a setup?
Absolutely.
Really?
That man. Did y'all see him? Did you see a picture of the
Yes.
shooter? That man did not. Like, I believe somebody might have mentioned to him that was something that could happen, and he was like, oh. maybe I should be the one that does it. And then he did it, and then they killed him.
And then they found like the nerdiest looking kid you can find in the whole world to do
Because
it.
there was absolutely nothing about him or his background from what they mentioned that would even remotely say that he was a Trump.
He hasn't been around long enough to hate Trump enough
That's
to
what
do
I'm
this
saying.
kind of thing, 'cause
To even
was a kid when
matter. He
Trump was
couldn't
in-
even vote.
Yeah, he was a kid when he was in office the first time. But, I mean,
it's malarkey.
it is a real bullet, though. They had a guy on, Doug Mills. He was a New York Times photographer. He was on CNN last night after Biden had made his speech. And actually, in one of the shots, you can see the bullet just before it hits Trump's ear. You can actually see it going in the air just before it hits him.
I saw the picture on TMZ.
That picture, I mean,
That's insanity.
I know, right? But, I mean,
I don't believe it.
you'd have to think an actual hero did get killed.
Yes.
So
a volunteer
you have to think
firefighter.
about- so thinking about him and his family today. But boy,
Yeah,
those
that's
bullets would have killed Biden. I'm telling you right now.
So this is what bothering me about this thing. Now, everyone is using the word rhetoric. It's really getting on my nerves.
Since the king of rhetoric is actually the one who was the target here. And everybody's talking about bringing the country together and all of this, and everything, including now, I guess Trump is changing his speech for the Republican convention from what it was supposed to be to bringing the country together.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Any party to go with the Republican Party sounds
Well,
planned.
I feel like, after being grazed by a bullet, it should change the way that you view life.
Yeah, it should. But this is Trump we're talking about. I give it 48 hours max, and he'll be back to his old antics.
Well, he
Time for the stitches to heal.
Yeah, exactly. He praised the crowd, though, at the rally for how they reacted in the moment. He said a lot of places, especially soccer games, you hear a single shot and everybody runs. Here, there were many shots and they stayed. He loves them. They are such great people.
And
They're willing to stick around and get shot just for
no,
me.
seriously. In what instance do you pump your fist when somebody shoots at you? Why is your first instinct not to run?
Coming off the stage, Jersey Shore style.
You know what? No, you know what it reminded me of? When Michael Jackson got set on fire.
Yes.
And he was on the gurney.
Yes.
And he gave everyone the thumbs
Yes.
up.
Well, because because everybody was concerned about him. I don't think he had
Nobody
the
was
Trump mindset
concerned
back
about
then.
Trump. Right. Over it.
No, he's using that. He knew all the cameras are on him, and fight.
terrible.
Fighting is what got you shot, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. In a surprising turn of events, the judge in the Alec Baldwin involuntary manslaughter trial dismissed the case on Friday. The judge agreed with Baldwin's lawyers that the prosecutors hid evidence related to the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust in 2021. The judge said there is no way for the court to right this wrong. The sanction of dismissal is the only warranted remedy. The dismissal was with prejudice, meaning the case cannot be refiled. The incident occurred during a rehearsal at Bonanza Creek Ranch in Santa Fe County, where the prop revolver Baldwin was holding went off, killing Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza. A separate civil trial against Baldwin is still pending. Attorney Gloria Allred is representing the Hutchins family, emphasizing that the criminal case does not exonerate Baldwin.
I'm glad they dismissed it.
So do I.
It was a mistake.
Never should have been brought in the first place.
No.
You've been on the movie sets all your life and with props that aren't real. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, a bullet ends up in the gun. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know that. Now, here the reason that they brought him to court was because it's his production, it's his story, which means he's responsible for the people under his charge if he's considered the boss. So I think that may be part of the reason that it was so quick for them to blame him instead of the woman who's the armorer.
The prop director.
They have a guns, weapons expert on set that is responsible for this stuff.
Absolutely.
And she also now wants, because they pulled this case, now they want her conviction overturned because she was convicted.
Okay, was she tried at the same time he was?
They brought down sentencing on her back in April. She was sentenced to 18 months for involuntary manslaughter back in April, and now she wants her charges dropped for the same reason that Alec Baldwin's trial was thrown out.
Okay, so they withheld that evidence in her trial also.
This is what they're going to claim, I guess, because
her
lawyers probably weren't as good as his.
Yeah.
Who brought the actual bullets? Why was that ever even there?
I don't know if anyone has an answer to that question. I have not heard anyone say how the bullet got in the gun, or
That is weird.
It is weird.
Who loaded it?
They were mixed in with, I guess, some dummy bullets, which is what normally is in the gun. It was mixed in.
But why? Who would do that? Like, what?
The only thing I can think of is maybe that was, they wanted authenticity, so they actually pulled a gun where they wouldn't normally from a real gun stash that had real bullets in it, and nobody checked it.
Oh, okay.
I bet that. I mean, I can't think of any other reason why.
Yeah, I couldn't even come up with that. I was just trying to figure, like, how would that ever happen if it's a prop?
Yeah, I mean, was it a fake gun? Was it a real gun?
It was a gun, I guess. It must have been a real gun because it shot the
fired
bullet and killed her.
Why? But why would they not use a prop gun?
A fake something.
Again, probably because they couldn't find the right kind of gun if they were doing this, because this Rust movie is like a period piece and they wanted some sort of authenticity, so they probably wanted to make sure they had, Alec Baldwin might be a stickler for that crap.
Right.
It's just like, okay, well, let's get a real gun, but we'll just make sure we put fake bullets in it, and somebody didn't do their job right.
And I'm just wondering, like, how did the prosecution think that they could withhold evidence and get away with it?
That's
I mean, I
crazy
don't,
to me.
I don't even think, it doesn't matter how insignificant you may think the evidence is. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Get some prosecutors trying to make his bones on a case or something like that, and so they said, well, if they know this, then they may not go forward with it, and so it disappears all of a sudden. You hear stories like that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a high-profile case. It's somebody like Alec Baldwin. Hey, you're a star overnight if you can put him away.
That is not fair.
I mean, I don't know that for allegedly.
Yeah.
I'll say allegedly
Yeah.
to all of that because I don't know. But I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Somebody definitely dropped the ball on that. But there is still going to be a civil suit, and I have a feeling that he is going to have to pay this family some money, especially since he was a producer of this movie.
Well, he settled already another suit that was probably, I think, almost immediately 2 years ago. So they already have some money. Because I was thinking that too. I read the same article.
Okay.
And thought immediately, well, you know what? He probably would want to pay.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm
this
sure
woman
he's
had a
remorseful.
child who's needs to go to, I mean, obviously maybe her education, pay her education or something like that, to try to make them as whole as possible after what happened. Because again, I'm sure he feels tremendous guilt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though it wasn't his fault, it happened, he pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that. I would probably, I would feel sick every day of my life if that
Talk
happened.
about something that actually changes you.
Oh, yeah.
That changes as opposed to the Trump situation. This might do something to change
whole
somebody's
nother
thought.
party.
Yeah, and Alec is considered an arrogant guy, and he has that kind of that arrogance reputation. He's not nowhere near as bad as Trump, but I mean he's had some bad press about his attitude.
This has probably humbled him
Quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Wiz Khalifa was charged with illegal drug possession after using marijuana during his performance at the Beach Please Festival in Romania on Saturday night.
I love it.
Beach, please.
I didn't even put two and two together until just now.
Oh, come on.
I did it.
Phenomenal work, Don.
You need me in your
Phenomenal.
Romanian prosecutors stated that Khalifa possessed over 18 grams of cannabis and consumed some on stage. The 10-time Grammy nominee was questioned and charged but later released. A video shows Khalifa being escorted from the festival by police. Marijuana possession in Romania can result in up to 10 years in prison.
Why did he not Google this?
Stop.
Yeah, I did.
Why did he look this up?
I did. I swear, it's considered a risk drug in Romania. That's what they call it. And you're not even allowed to take it for medical use.
Stop going to other countries and smoking weed.
Please. That's why I'm
grinder.
so nervous to leave, because I'm going to go pee in somebody's bathroom that I shouldn't be in, and then I'm going to be in prison.
Exactly.
I already know. That's why I'm so... Why would he not look into that?
That's my thing, is like nobody in his entourage said this is probably not a good idea.
And I know you like to do this, and you do this every single day of your life, but when we go here, you can't do that. Like,
Like light up on freaking stage.
Yeah.
That's
Dum
what
dum.
he
In
did.
front of everybody.
Hello? I mean, you know,
Ay, ay,
when
ay.
album number 3 is named Rolling Papers,
Sorry.
then album number 6 is the
classics.
sequel, Rolling Papers 2,
It's classic.
Romania may be waiting for you. You know, because weed is not known for energizing people, except when it finds you in a Romanian jail cell,
Yeah.
watching your back.
Well, I think a lot of people think now that it's legalized in so many states in America that they can smoke it wherever they want.
That's a horrible assumption.
It is.
Yeah.
It really
Do
is.
your research.
Yep. I agree with you.
I love what he said
God.
about it, too. He said he did not mean, quote, any disrespect to the country of Romania by lighting up on stage. Taking 5 minutes to look up what the drug culture is there,
It's so
I would consider that respect.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Just a little bit?
they don't care.
Are you kidding me? You know, I mean,
Entitled.
Nicki Minaj got stopped in the Netherlands
Yes.
in May.
I remember that.
You know, the granddaddy of all cases, Paul McCartney, got stopped in Tokyo in 1980
Wow.
for having marijuana on him because he didn't. Now, back then, you know, you maybe can forgive him because he couldn't look it up back then. You know, on Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the only night he spent away from his wife, was in a jail cell
Wow.
because she was in the band. But
I, for some reason, can't, I don't think of Paul McCartney as a pot smoker.
oh yeah,
I do.
The Beatles did
a great
all
guy.
kinds of drugs, you know, mind expansion, LSD, and stuff like that. So no, he's a pot smoker. He just doesn't eat meat, so he draws a line somewhere.
Oh. Oh. What a fine line.
Okay. All right. It is now time for RonniColes' question of the day.
What is the question of the day?
You don't know what it-
No, would you mind telling us, Jojo?
Okay. If you could have
Just turn the screen to her and make it look like she actually.
yeah. okay.
I want you to do it.
Okay. If you could have a second chance at one event in your life, what would you choose? What would you do differently? And how would your life be different now? You're up, action.
I would have probably done a better job when I slept with Sofia Vergara. I would probably be, sugar daddy right now, sugar mama right now.
I love it.
So I wouldn't be here with you. I'm sorry, but
Get your money, honey.
No hard feelings there.
I have very few regrets about specific events in my life, but I would say I would probably have handled the situation with my first divorce differently after the fact, because I was estranged with my daughter for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And I was not in her life as she was growing up. And there was a lot of stupid things that happened, and a lot of it was immaturity. I have a great relationship with her now, thanks to her, because, and her mom did not trash me the way that I thought she did, because she certainly said it to me on the phone quite a bit. But and so I'm grateful for that. But I do regret the years that I did not have as she was growing up because of some stupidity in my past. I was so focused on my career, I wasn't thinking about anything else in
Right.
life. And I learned to prioritize things years later. And so I got it back, but I think our relationship would be even better now if I had been there for her more. So there you go. That's me. My humble moment here on the...
Oh, do you need some tissue?
Such a
I don't see any in here. It's not like you
moment.
prepared for
Wait, hold on. No, I'm
No.
just kidding.
She went straight for the bra, folks.
Good,
kidding.
good old
This
boob
is
tissue.
podcast audio only.
Audio only.
You have
All
to
right.
put the rating differently on this.
Oh, we have an explicit rating on our podcast.
do we?
Yes.
Yes.
I can say
Absolutely.
bullshit.
You
I'm
can
allowed to
say
that?
whatever
you can say
you
whatever
want.
you want.
All right, thank you.
Yes. All right. So I can honestly say that I wouldn't change anything, like even like the bad things, because I feel like it really it made me who I am.
How prestigious of you.
It's the truth. Like when
That
I
is
look
awesome.
back, it's going through certain things in my life that they were, horrible to go through them,
Yeah.
but I just wouldn't be who I am without it. But if I really had to pick one thing, I never would have gotten married. I just wouldn't have done
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been my second marriage.
Yeah.
Done. I'm done.
Yeah, she doesn't listen to podcasts, so we're good. Not that I would care any.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? You came up with the question you can't remember.
I'm gonna have to say I, during COVID, would have gotten a PPP loan.
Stop it.
I would have done so. If I could go back, I would do it. I would absolutely do it.
Well, would you have actually started a business?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I actually wanted to do that, but I was so scared of the repercussions of the PPP loan.
Well, if you actually started a business with it, I don't think there would have been repercussions.
I was under the impression that you already had to have an existing business. And I
can't understand, or I don't know 100% whether that's true or not.
If I could change one thing, it would be that.
Well,
for sure.
So many people got in trouble for taking those loans, though. What would your business?
So many people did not, and that's the thing.
So,
like mine
Trying
would
to
have been
sneak
like
under the radar,
legit.
with everything. What would your business have been?
My business would have been a consulting firm for people who are starting daycare centers.
So why don't you do that still?
Because I work where I work.
Okay. So can you maybe I don't know. I know you're probably spread pretty thin. I would say try to do it like one day a week.
Who's gonna fund it? I could take out a people.
Why are
Actually,
you looking at me?
can RonniCole borrow some money?
Where you work.
I only need,
Why are you looking
only
at me?
need 10 grand. That's it. I'll make it
Yeah,
happen.
take the only out of that sentence. What's wrong with you? I only need 10 grand.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You flew in on your yacht, Don. Why don't you come over here?
Just gonna write me that blank check. I'll do the rest.
I'll go to my helicopter on the helipad on the roof and get it for you, okay?
Yes.
Is
Thank
that what
you.
that noise is when you come to school every day?
Yes.
Why I was
It
late today.
is.
I'm so sorry. I need to get a new pilot.
Oh my God.
It's hard to find good health
It's amazing.
these days. I'm working on that 10 grand for you.
Thank you. I
No, you're-
appreciate it.
No, I'm not.
I'm taking donations. So
Start you a GoFundMe like everybody else.
It was a girl who wanted to buy these pumps, and she set up a GoFundMe.
High
They were
heel shoes?
Yes, the shoes were like $5,000.
I guess we're doing life all
I'm like,
wrong.
yeah, clearly. If you could just set up a GoFundMe for a pair of shoes,
Did people contribute to this
They
GoFundMe?
did. She
Stop
did not
it.
get the $5,000. She got maybe $1,500-$1,600, but
Oh, she's going to have to go barefoot now. How terrible. This is awful. I feel for her. And, she's by one shoe.
one
shoe. Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
Our hot take this week, Harrison Butler responds to Serena Williams calling him out at the ESPYs. Serena and Venus Williams and Quinta Brunson, I don't know who that is, called out Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker for his controversial Benedictine College speech. They encouraged the audience to enjoy women's sports just like any other sports, with Venus saying, "They are sports," and Serena adding, "Except you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you," with Brunson chiming in, "At all, like ever."
The
She can say
kicker.
what she wants.
They're concerned about the kicker. The Kansas City Chiefs kicker.
That's what
She
What the
can say
hell?
She wants.
I mean,
She can say what she wants. She can do no wrong in my eyes.
Really?
but and look, I don't have a problem with Serena. I have a problem with the fact that as a award show host, Serena is a great tennis player.
Okay.
She is not a host. She is not. And that's what they
I
do.
agree.
And she's a victim, because what happens is they have to write stuff for her and make her entertaining as a host. She's
Okay.
not a host. And so I saw that monologue from the ESPYs, and she's on the stage dancing to it. They not like us. They not like us. She's dancing to Kendrick Lamar. Looks like a fool. They write these lines for her.
Okay.
This speech was 2 months ago. Butker did this at a conservative crowd at a Christian school.
Yeah.
And the thing that they don't get is that when he was talking about this stuff, he was talking about it, by the way, adjacent to his wife doing that in their home, that, she chose to stay and whatnot. And so he broadened it out in a way that I don't agree with. They tell you this big lie about promotions and all of this stuff and whatnot. It sounded very 1955, women's places in the home, or can be. I think it could be broadened out to, it's one of your choices. You can choose to do that. And so, he did that, and for that room, and got a uproarious applause. So he did his job. They brought him, Mr. Conservative, to the conservative school, and that's his belief, and that's a lot of their beliefs. Done. 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And now she's on the ESPYs looking for laughs and trolls him.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I thought it was kind of like I thought it was weird. I think a lot of people like him, they're very close-minded, but I don't think they know any other thing. Like, that's how they're raised, so they think these things are wrong. And until they experience like a situation in their life where, like, okay, what if his daughter, gets pregnant when she's 12? Then,
Right.
okay, then it's time to think, oh my God, she should probably have an abortion,
Right.
or things like that. So I'm just thinking he doesn't really have any life experience when it comes to any of these any of these things.
that could
So
be true.
I thought it was odd that they kind of dogged him out on TV.
Like he's not allowed to have an opinion that doesn't agree with theirs. That's my thing with that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so he believes that. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But I believe that he did what he needed to do in that room for those people. And
Right.
he believes what he believes, and his convictions are strong. So that's okay. There's, I can have conversations with people about that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of people I know that would rather stay home and raise a family and than have a career. I think sometimes there's too much pressure on people to have careers, and they get into them and they don't like the career that
Right.
they're in. So it could,
Right.
I don't know. I don't think he was saying that everybody should do that, but because the speech is on YouTube 2 months ago, and he's the kicker. It's not like Mahomes said it or Brady
yeah.
said it.
Right.
Who's paying attention? He
Right.
needs to get it between the uprights. That's it. No one's caring
Nobody
about how
nobody cares about his opinion.
Nobody.
except the school who knew
Yeah.
what they were getting when they hired him. So he
Yeah.
did his job right. I think, you're just looking for cheap laughs at the ESPYs.
Right.
Because you can't deliver a funny line.
So we should blame the SP writers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
That's
Serena.
what they-
No, don't ever blame.
Okay.
That's what they, no,
We
not
won't.
Serena.
Okay.
I mean, this is what they do with the roasts, the Comedy Central roast. They have all
Yes.
these people on, like Martha Stewart, who's, they write lines for them.
Yeah.
And they come off funny.
That's true.
These guys needed to be better writers. That's all.
I don't know why those roasts, they sometimes really make me uncomfortable, and I don't know why.
I very seldom laugh because I'm like, this is cringy for me.
It is. Like the Tom Brady roast, I couldn't even watch the whole thing.
Yes.
That one was
harsh.
long.
They went after his wife, and that's the problem. Is that I didn't like those lines. I liked all the other stuff. I'm old, Dark Ages. I go all the way back to the Dean Martin roast years ago when
The
Don Rickles
legend.
was on. Yeah, that too. Real legends actually on television. I mean, Don Rickles used to roast everybody's race and ethnicity and all that stuff pretty bad back in the 70s, where you could say almost anything you wanted about anybody. But this was just, they were going after his wife. That was the thing, because he said he wouldn't have done it again.
His beautiful model wife. I feel so bad for her and her millions of dollars.
I know.
Okay. All right. Guilty pleasures. RonniCole, what was your guilty pleasure this week?
I went to the movies.
Oh, what did you see?
I saw Longlegs with Nicolas Cage.
Don't.
Wait until it comes on a streaming.
Okay.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because the movie itself was actually a really good movie. Like Nicolas Cage, phenomenal.
I love him as an actor.
Phenomenal. Like
As an actor.
I was spooked by his character. Like he was like really into it. And there's this one part where he's screaming and I'm just like, oh, like I could feel it. It was so good. But the end of the movie did not match the movie.
Damn it.
If
I
that
hate
makes-
when
I was
hate when that
so
happens.
Massive left turn.
Massive.
Wow.
I was like, no. I want my money back. Like it was so good. Like I was invested, like on the edge of my seat. And then those last 9 minutes, I'm like, I know this is not going where I think it's going. And it went.
Oh, I'm
And I was
sorry that
mad.
happened. What else
But
did you
it was
see?
a guilty pleasure.
What else?
Maybe there's an alternate ending on the streaming version.
I'm hoping that's I'm hoping that's a thing. Yeah, because I was not happy.
Why don't you get in contact with Nicolas Cage and ask
I told
him
my sister I was gonna email him.
and redo this ending?
Please.
You get right on that too.
Listen.
Sure.
All right, Don.
Might not get the response you want from Nicholas. I'm telling
At
you.
least you can say she tried.
Yeah,
I love him.
it's a weirdo.
All right, what was your guilty pleasure this past week?
I bought 2 very cushiony lawn chairs with tons of padding. So like
nice.
those chairs that you sit outside, but instead it's got the actual, it's like pillows.
Yeah,
in
nice.
the thing.
Okay.
So and a separate footrest because I'm bougie like that.
Yes.
and even got and the chair is like comfortable enough.
He got that 10 grand.
He has that 10 grand.
I know he does. Go ahead.
You're buying chairs like that. You got extra cash.
You have extra money.
I didn't say I didn't have it. I said I wasn't.
He don't want to give it to you.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I need my chairs and stuff. I need an entire hot tub to go with the chairs. So I got to. No, I'm kidding.
Party at Don's house.
So yeah, I bought those. I said, I don't need them, but I'm getting to the stage in life where don't worry about that. So, but I bought those. They're really nice, and took them glamping. So
Okay.
Did you buy them on Amazon?
Yes, I did, and I had people. Yes, of course. I know what you're going to say. Here's the thing. Here's the disclaimer. Jojo and I are very close, and so she knows about my Amazon spending habits.
His Amazon shopping addiction.
It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with shopping on Amazon at all.
I'm killing my bank account small doses.
Matter.
Small doses.
Doesn't
I don't
even
get
matter.
the big. I don't spend 10 grand at a time. I have little bits and pieces that I spend, and just slowly but surely I realize bankruptcy is around the corner.
Okay.
But you're not wasting it. You're buying things that you want and you need.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, I know you do. You do buy a lot of stuff for your mobile DJ business, so.
I do. I buy a lot of that, but I also that's full now. I've already I can't justify any more expenses for that thing anymore. Don't I need another speaker? No. But now I'm turning to outfitting my backyard and back deck and
That's
things like that.
awesome.
So things that make me happy because I don't live in a mansion, but you have the things that you want around.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Then you don't have to go nowhere. You can be comfortable at home.
Exactly. Yep. No,
Well, as soon as it's done, just let me know. I'll bring the beers over. We can have a few beers.
yeah,
We should have can we have a party at your house?
Please.
yeah, we can do that and watch Nicolas Cage movies and stuff.
No. We want to sit in these comfy chairs with our feet up.
Yes.
Sure, easy enough.
Okay.
Take the TV, we'll bring it outside.
And play music out of your DJ.
Out of your
That would be
speakers.
so nice.
Yeah, I love it when the neighbors have
Yes,
reason to complain.
absolutely.
The thing is, I'm not playing the stuff they want to hear out of these speakers.
I'll plan the party and let you know when it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just let me know what to
35th
bring.
Stevie Wonder and New Kids on the Block song in a row. Step by step.
Yeah. I'm so ready.
Tell your neighbors not to be haters.
I'm so ready.
I like that stuff. I don't know if they will.
All right. Well, my guilty pleasure was margaritas, and a lot of them.
I love it.
Oh my God, they were so good.
I know they
2 days in a row. Well, no, the first night I drank. What did I drink? Oh, those Smirnoff Red, White, and Blues, and those were good.
Those are really good.
Yeah. And then Friday I drank that, and then Saturday I drank the margaritas, and it was like the pre-made margaritas, like the Jose Cuervo, and like the big bottle like this. There's like this much left, like about an inch left in the bottle.
Knock
Do
it
the
out.
salt and everything?
No salt, which I usually do the salt with my margaritas, but this stuff went down like Kool-Aid, and I paid for it the next day.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm too old. I just can't drink like I used to.
You are not too old. You just have to drink water.
I did drink water, and I still had a hangover.
Really?
I probably didn't drink enough water. Way more margarita than water.
Jojo wasting away in Margaritaville.
That's how I want to go out. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, it's time to board the crazy train. An elderly man in the UK who repeatedly called for an ambulance complaining of a sore throat was jailed for 6 months. The 76-year-old dialed 911 a total of 42 times. On one occasion, he dialed emergency services and demanded paramedics come immediately when there were already paramedics at his house.
Can you
Send them. Oh, they're here already. Sorry.
Can you send another one?
Can you send one?
This one's lonely.
I feel like he probably has dementia.
I can't see my
Probably.
testicles. Oh, wait a minute. I inhaled. I can see them. There they are. Never mind. Cancel the ambulance. Can you do that?
Can you do a really good old man impression?
Thank you very much.
That's
Appreciate it.
because he's a legend, Jojo. He's a legend. I thought
Or
we know
because he's about to be an old man soon.
No, I spent too much time watching those two guys in the balcony of the Muppet Show.
Ah, that's what you do
That's
sound like
exactly
them.
what
A
they sound
combination
like.
of both of them.
Yes, indeed.
That's exactly what they
Kermit
sound
doesn't
like.
have it tonight. I don't know what's wrong with him.
So do you feel
It's
like
so sad.
that he should have been put in jail? Because I feel like he has dementia or Alzheimer's or something.
They should have forced him to get some sort of
He needs an
testing.
aid or something.
They need to test him to see what he, and fund that, pay for that, insist court ordered that he get tested to see if he has dementia or something, and then if he does need to be put someplace, some sort of facility where he can get
assisted
treatment.
living.
Yeah. Or have people look after him.
Where he can take care of. They can take care of a sore throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the only thing they need is for him not to be calling 911
He
anymore.
needs a
Just to
companion.
establish that. You know?
So the way for him to get somebody to come over and visit is to call 911 to get an ambulance over there.
So if you get him a home health aide who, flash him every once in a while.
There you go.
That's it.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
How much money?
Sorry, didn't
How
mean
much
to
money?
drop that again. Can you bend over and pick that up? Thank you.
What's his net worth? He can call me.
Let's go. Let's do I'll look it up. I'll find out for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Call me anytime.
What was the name of what's her face that married the 96-year-old guy, the model?
Was
had
it
the
Anna
reality
Nicole?
TV?
Anna Nicole Smith. Yeah.
I watched her documentary. It's good.
I
Did you
love
see
her.
it?
I love her.
She was funny.
Oh, yeah, I saw that documentary. I think it was the same one.
It was good.
Yeah, crazy. It was a docu-series. I think there was a bunch of episodes of that.
Okay, the next car on the crazy train, Francis Bowie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Bowie.
What?
Francis Bowie, also known as the Amazing Franco, found himself in hot water after being caught in an undercover prostitution operation. The 28-year-old Pennsylvania man who works as a professional clown was charged with promoting prostitution. Bowie allegedly posted an ad offering sexual services online, which caught the attention of authorities. In a text exchange with an undercover officer, he reportedly offered unprotected sexual acts for $100 per hour.
Getting crabs from Bozo. Isn't that the worst?
He claimed that it was the first time he engaged in such activities. He was in financial constraints, so he had to supplement his income.
Well, listen. I get it.
Desperation
You gotta do what you gotta do. He needs an OnlyFans.
There you go. I wonder, is there like a clown fetish kind of thing out there?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there's a Gacy fetish out there, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
You know, it's the funny thing for me is that, you probably had less makeup on than some of the prostitutes I've seen.
Exactly.
He could probably make some money actually doing their makeup for them.
My God.
That's a good addition to the hustle.
Yeah.
It is.
I wonder why all the parents at the kid's birthday party are like, the dads are bunching up in the corner. What's going on?
Talking to Franco.
They're like talking to each other, like, airdrop Franco your digits, $100 unprotected.
Unprotected. That's gross, though.
The fact that was like specifically mentioned is so nasty.
Disgusting.
Ow. You talk about the hustle. I mean, you're going to get more calls that way.
So
I think.
nasty.
I just watched an episode of this series on CNN that they went through the decades and talked about the most important things in each decade, and they used television footage to do the whole thing. Tom Hanks is one of the executive producers. It's an amazing series that they ran back about 10 years ago, and I purchased it actually, so I have it so that when Prime decides to get rid of it, I still have it.
Right.
So the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, actually, I got them all. And the one from the 80s, I just saw the one about AIDS and about the early days of the scariness of unprotected sex and all of this stuff. And I think about that, and I grew up in the AIDS era. To hear somebody, Bozo saying, "Hey, $100 unprotected."
His name is Franco, not Bozo.
I'm sorry, Franco.
Listen.
The amazing Franco.
His name.
Get an amazing case from him.
Oh my God. Okay. Last car in the crazy train. Nudists come to the rescue. Two nudists in the Castro neighborhood of San Francisco became unexpected heroes last week when they intervened to stop an attacker from harming a tourist. These men were out for a casual stroll in their birthday suits and sprang into action when they saw the man being threatened by someone else with a blowtorch.
Operative word, sprang.
So there's a video of this, and I watched the video. These two men are fully naked, walking down the street.
Penises just
And
out
yes,
hanging.
in front of
my.
like in a neighborhood where they have like stores, like small shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just totally naked.
Is that the norm there?
I don't know. It has to be because like
Well, they were the only two naked on the street, though.
yeah, they were. Whoever posted this on Facebook was like one of the shop owners of one of the shops on this street, and it must be normal because like the shop owner didn't say anything about the naked guys, but they want to know who was the person attacking the tourists.
Yeah. They were worried about that. And the naked guys were saving him.
Yes.
They smacked him around real good, and one of them
focus
hit him
on
with,
the
actually with his hand too, which is nice. So one kid grabbed the blowtorch from him, and then so he went to go attack him and the tourist, and then these two guys swept in. This one guy, anyway.
Did you watch the video?
I actually watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, when they say naked, sometimes you think of like somebody maybe with like in their underwear.
Speedo.
These men were fully naked. It was just amazing.
That
I'm
is
the guest who comes prepared.
Okay,
and actually
thank you.
know something. You're
that
welcome.
is so cool.
Maybe we'll let you come back.
Maybe.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
No, it was
Maybe.
it was very. I felt the shop owners seemed kind of scared of the whole situation. Get in here quickly, quickly, like like the naked guys were going to bend over or something. He was worried about. I don't know. It was a very odd video, but I mean, these guys were walking around naked, naturalists, I guess.
Yeah.
Because normally you see that at a nudist camp.
Yeah.
You know what you're in for.
Yeah.
Then you drive down the street, you're causing accidents because, you're like, what? Because the guy that got hit, I'm sure I know why he got hit because the guy ran toward him. And you know where your eyes naturally go.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I run towards this guy to defend myself and risk getting hit with that? Or do I run away? And as he was making the decision,
Oh, my
smack,
goodness.
Yeah. It was good.
That is funny.
Watch the video.
I am, because I am actually not nervous around naked people. Like, I'm pretty sure if I did not live here and I lived somewhere where it was not a crime, I would probably be naked all the time.
Would you really?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I would be so uncomfortable.
I absolutely despise clothes.
Really?
I do not like them.
Do you walk around?
I do. Only when my kid's not
Got
home,
you.
though. When he's there, I have to put on something. But
Yeah, of course.
you better believe any opportunity I get,
RonniCole the nudist.
raw, naked body.
Never would have thought. Learn something new every day.
Yes.
Okay.
Are
Well,
we licensed for that on this podcast? Are we allowed?
we are
Oh,
licensed for anything.
We shall
Okay,
find
good.
out.
Good to hear.
Why are you going to tell us you walk around naked too?
I have neighbors probably in the backyard that are pissed at me like on a regular basis because I have no problem going downstairs into my kitchen and the window it's a pretty full backyard, so it's pretty ways away. But I have done it early enough where the kids are on the trampoline back there, and
Well, stop it.
if they have 2,500 vision, they could probably do
Well,
something.
It's not your fault.
Not my
Not your
fault. It's
problem.
my house, and blinds are expensive.
Oh my God.
They
And
might.
you don't put them in the kitchen anyway.
Do they cost more than the lawn furniture that you bought for your yard?
No, but they definitely cost more than the money you need.
Oh my God. All right.
$10,000 blinds here. Just
So you don't traumatize the neighbor kids behind you.
you're gonna have to deal with it at some point.
Okay. Well, that is all we have for you today on the Real Talk lineup. Thank you, Action, for being here.
Hey, I love this. I'll come back anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
Everybody wants to come and be on our
Stop
podcast.
asking me for money. I'll come back sooner.
Well,
Okay, you can check us out on realtalklineup.com and on our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram at Real Talk Lineup.
it's been real.
Real naked, apparently. In her house.
And apparently yours too.
Clearly.
Yeah, but I didn't say it's been real. It's
Clearly, the children are traumatized.
Okay.
good. Keep them out of my yard.
Exactly. The
Okay.
naked man.